All right, joining me right now is UFC bantamweight contender Cody Stamann. Thank you, Cody, for the time, man. How you doing?
Of course, dude. Really good. Just finished my last live session of the camp, so I'm injury free. I'm super thankful for that, and I'm just ready to get this shit done.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to that injury. I remember I was speaking with somebody, and they told me before that it was actually news that you had gotten injured, and I think they slipped up about that late last year. What was the injury, and how did it exactly happen?
So last year I hurt my shoulder a little bit. I was relatively healthy most of last year, but the year before that was another shoulder injury. This time around, I was supposed to fight Merab December 5th. I slipped a disc in my back that really only put me out for a couple weeks, but um, it was enough that it's like back injuries. There's a lot of stuff that you can work through, but the my back injury, that was something that really kind of scared me a little bit, and it was just not an injury that I felt like I could that I was willing to push. You know what I mean? Like when your back starts to go, that's kind of the end of you as an athlete. So for me, it was really important to heal correctly and to be able to do this. I needed the longevity. I definitely didn't want to hurt my back again.
Was the back more of like a slip disc? Because I've had two back surgeries on slip discs. It's not fun.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It was just everything just got out of place. I was actually just doing a ball slam and kind of lost the ball in the air and like threw myself down in this weird way. Uh, and I was hurting. I mean, I could barely get out of bed. And just luckily, I have the PI as a just amazing resource to recover. And Heather Linden put me back together in like weeks instead of months. I've heard people say that like when they do this to their back, they throw their back out like they're hurting for months. And I can honestly say I think I was back in the gym. I didn't do anything live for probably 3 weeks, but I was working out like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, which is just like amazing. Like the progression and how fast I got better was just a testament to how good they are at the PI at helping athletes recover.
Yeah, probably the best move you've made probably in your whole career so far is to
Oh,
moving to Las Vegas, right?
I mean, I think about just from that standpoint, from the strength conditioning standpoint, the nutrition standpoint, and just like all the things that you should really do as an athlete that we all kind of don't do as well as we should. You know what I mean? Like the training part is easy, but putting it all together is actually really difficult. And if your training and your nutrition and your physical therapy and your strength conditioning, if all those things don't line up, you're not going to get the maximum. You're never going to reach that maximum potential that you have as an athlete. And the PI, the way that they structure everything, the way that the physical therapy ties to the strength conditioning, that ties to the nutrition, that ties to the exercise science and the testing, and really figuring out like, are you getting in better shape? Like, are you better? Are you stronger? Are you lighter than you were last time? Like to actually have the data and to have professional people taking care of that for you. It's the absolute game changer. You know what I mean? Like honestly, like now that I've been here for over a year, like I don't know how I did it like without them. Really,
Mhm.
I mean, and not only that, but like they teach you how to do this stuff yourself. So, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm so much more self sufficient and like I really understand my body and how everything works. And like I thought I did before, but I mean the level that the things that these guys know, it's just incredible.
Well, we already know your discipline is impeccable, man. You're a big 135er. It's like a science how you break everything down. I've heard many interviews you've
Yeah.
done talking about it, and I feel like fans and people looking from the outside, they see you and they see like kind of like this fighter, this brute guy, but really you need that mind, man. You need that mental strength to get over a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean the discipline aspect of the diet and all the other things that it takes to get me to 135 pounds, that's the real hard part. Like I said, the training in comparison to the diet is easy. You know what I mean? Like I'm willing to work hard as I absolutely can every single day. But to do that and to do that with like a restricted calorie diet is super, super hard. You know, like everybody talks about, yeah, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna get back in shape, but if you don't take the time to get your diet right, like you won't lose weight. It's not possible. Like, you know, they say like losing weight is 80% diet and 20% working out. And I work out all day. You know, I burn, you know, thousands of calories a day just in workouts. And if my diet isn't lined up, like I will not budge. My weight will not change. And so it's so important to be disciplined and to do the right things and honestly just to be healthy. Like it's pretty simple. I mean, if you think about what it takes to maximize your potential as an athlete, like you really focus on health instead of like a diet, quote unquote. It makes it a lot easier. You know what I mean? I'm just putting the best things I possibly can in my body every day, and I feel better. My weight goes down, and you know I've had a lot of time. You know, I've been training for this fight coming up in February since like September. So I mean, I've been training and I've been getting my weight right for a long time. I gotta say, my weight isn't an issue this time around, thank God. But I mean, it's because I've put a 4-month training camp in. I've been eating right for a really long time now.
Definitely. Now, you got Andre Ewell stepping up on February 6th. A lot of people didn't expect this type of matchup to happen, but it's happening. Why does this guy interest you so much?
Andre Ewell's tough, man. I tell you what, I honestly didn't know a whole lot about him. I'd seen him fight. I think I watched him fight Jonathan Martinez live. I might have watched his last fight too live. But I honestly didn't know a whole lot about the guy until, you know, how it works is I get a phone call from my manager, Jason House, right? He calls me up and he's like, hey, Marav's out. Andre Ewell will step up and fight you. And I'm like, well, I don't know who that is, but let's do it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm in a parking lot with a bunch of guys. I'm about to walk into practice. And I was like, anybody know who Andre Ewell is? And I'm like, yeah, we know who that is. Real tall guy, boxer, long arms. And I'm like, so it's pretty much the exact opposite guy. Like I was getting ready for Marav. So like literally polar opposites. Like we're talking about two completely different body types, different types of fighting styles, like just completely different. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'm training with tall guys today. And that's literally like, that was like, I think right at the 3.5 week. It was about 3.5 weeks out, I guess, because it was a Friday, I think, when I found out. And so now I'm, fighting someone completely different. And, I'm super happy that Andre Ewell stepped up because I didn't really know, if I was going to get a fight. I'm looking at, like, who's available in the top 15, and it's like there's nobody. And then I'm looking past that, and I'm like, well, who else, really who else is there? And, him stepping up, I mean, I'm happy. I'm thankful that he did that, but I wouldn't want to fight myself right now, that's for sure.
Well, Ewell, like you mentioned, that he is a boxer. He has some decent striking, and that's pretty much what he uses in his fights. What is your breakdown of his striking, if you can compare it to anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of tall guys don't use their reach well. I feel like they fight in a phone booth, which doesn't make any sense, man. If I had long arms, I would never let anybody get near me. And Andre Ewell does a really good job of actually keeping guys off him. He throws stuff long. He kind of bounces in and out a lot. I mean, he keeps his hands down. He's good. I mean, he's a good boxer. I like the way he strikes. But the thing is like for him, we're fighting in a small cage. I'm a good boxer too. I was a Golden Glove state champ. I've boxed. I know how to move my head. I know how to throw punches. The thing is, like, he's got to keep me away from him for 15 minutes straight. Like, for Andre Ewell to win, it's literally he has to keep me at that distance the entire time. And in the meantime, like, the entire time, I'm going to be trying to, close that distance. I mean, you saw it with, like, let's take Conor. Like, when Conor fought Dustin Poirier, Conor's a longer guy. Strikes longer. The first time they fight, Conor's in and out really fast. Dustin never really gets a chance to get anything off, and then Conor dusts him. And this time around, Conor walks into range and gets clipped, you know what I mean, and then gets nailed with these calf kicks, and completely different fight. I mean, so if you think about that, it's like the long guys have a huge advantage initially, right? I mean, that like you have to figure out a way to get inside. But once you figure out how to get inside, it's over. You know what I mean? Like once, like I say, all I have to do is get inside one time. You know what I mean? The takedown's going to be there. You know what I mean? I know I can take this guy down. I know that. You know what I mean? Like I could take anyone down at 135 pounds. There's not a guy in the division that I honestly don't think I can take down. And I've been branded as this wrestler, but I hate that. I hate that label. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be a guy that goes out there and knocks people out. It just worked out. It's just worked out that, you know, I've taken a lot of guys down in the UFC. But, you know, Andre Ewell, you know, I feel like the way he strikes and the way he jumps in with shots, it's going to be terribly hard for him in that small cage to keep me off him. I mean, like I said, I get inside one time, it's over. It's a wrap.
Training camp, it's in Vegas. You've been there for over a year. 2020 has been weird because a lot of fighters have just concentrated into Las Vegas. Has it seemed like the gyms and all the spots that you go to are overcrowded a little bit?
Extreme Couture is definitely overcrowded. I mean, I was just there on sparring day, and it's like everybody's got like a 4x4 space of mat before they run into somebody else. I mean, there's so many guys here right now. And it's not like, I mean, there's so many talented guys. I mean, there's some, like, you look at one of these practices, like I have my brother here with me, and he was like, dude, there's a lot of really good guys at this practice. Like, I mean, people that you recognize, people that anybody that know MMA, they would walk in and be like, oh, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. I mean, you go to a practice and there's like 8 guys that are top 10 in the UFC at a practice and in all kinds of different weight classes. I mean, so the rooms are absolutely stacked. And then you have all these young, hungry guys that are, you know, on the cusp of a big show that are also there, you know what I mean, and that are also really good. So, I mean, the level of competition that I've been competing against every day is just, it's insane. I mean, it's like there's not a round off, you know, like we do these wrestling practices on Wednesday, and there'll only be like 10 guys there, but every single dude has all these credentials and every single guy's tough. I mean, you don't really get like, there's no such thing as an easy round anymore in Las Vegas. Like everyone's good, everybody's game everywhere. You know what I mean? So like it forces you to kind of level up because you're not getting a break at any point. You know, I mean, for me and like with my competitive nature, like that's been, I mean, that alone has made me a way better athlete just because, you know, if I'm training in Michigan and I'm being honest, you know, I'm probably one of the best guys in the room every time I walk in the room. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what practice I go to. But out here, yeah, now, like maybe on paper, I'm the best guy in the room, but there's all these guys that really want to kick my ass and prove something. So it's like, it's a fight every day. And, you know, you need that. You need that kind of like that dog mentality if you really want to be good at this shit, because it's brutal.
Complacency can become an issue, but like you just mentioned, you got guys from all over the place, guys that are already at that level and guys that want to take your spot. So it's not a problem for you right now. It's probably the best for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, just today, I mean, at sparring, I think there were like 4 guys in the UFC at bantamweight at that practice. I mean, if that gives you an idea, like there's like 4 guys in the UFC in one weight class at one practice. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's here. I mean, Vegas is the place to be right now.
So what challenges do you think, the main challenges you will overcome within yourself in this matchup?
You know, I mean, I feel like I got this monkey on my back, right? But I've had all these UFC fights. I haven't put anyone away. And that bothers me because, you know, I want to, like I said, I want Golden Gloves, knocking dudes out dead. My first few amateur fights, knock guys out dead. I mean, hit them and they don't get up. I mean, they're dead on the floor, and I haven't done that in a while, and it bothers me. I haven't done it in the UFC, you know. So it's like I want nothing more than to hit this dude and watch him crumble. Like that is the goal. That is my goal. Everyone's like, well, you know, Stamann's going to go out there. He's going to wrestle. He's going to wrestle Andre Ewell. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? He's going to go out there, shoot a double leg, and it's over. Andre Ewell's going to have a rough night, and he's going to get dry humped to death by Cody Stamann. You know what I mean? Like, I know I can do that. You know what I mean? I know that's definitely in my wheelhouse to do that. But man, do I want to knock somebody out? Like, I think more important than anything is for me to just let it go, let my hands go, and just be aggressive and, you know, be the athlete that I know I am, and put these guys on notice. You know, I think going out and winning fights, taking guys down, you know, that's great and that's good, and that you know what I mean, affords me a nice lifestyle. But I think knocking dudes out is what's gonna elevate me to the next level. And I think Andre Ewell, unfortunately, is it was going to be Merab. I was going to put Merab out. I've been thinking about that for a really long time. And now Andre Ewell, unfortunately, you know, I had this killer training camp to get ready for a nasty little gremlin fucker like Merab. And now Andre Ewell is going to get the shit end of that. And, well, I'm thankful that he stepped up. I feel terrible for that bastard February 6th.
Matchup wise, he's a guy that will allow you to stylistically allow you to.
He's gonna box. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna box. He's gonna strike. You know, and I haven't really had a guy that would really do that. You know, I had an opportunity to go against like a striker. You know, a guy that wasn't just gonna like try to take me down or stay the hell away from me. In Brian Callagher, you know, and I was inches away from putting him away. You know, I hit him with some big shots. I know I hurt him. He told me I hurt him. He was like, dude, I don't remember 2 rounds of that fight. You know, so, and he's just too damn tough. That guy's got a head like a rock. He just refused to die in there. But, you know, I'm looking forward to fighting someone with that can give me that opportunity, you know, to shut his lights off. And I think Andre Ewell 1,000% is going to give me that opportunity. I mean, in other fights, I see him get hit a lot. Obviously good hands. But there's some holes. I figured them out. I watched, you know, 20 minutes of tape, and I'm like, okay, this dude's getting slept. You know what I mean? And I'd bet my house on it.
I feel it, man. Cody, I feel it. I feel it for me. I feel the energy through the screen, man. You feel like you have a lot of things built up, you know what I mean? And in
yeah,
camp.
I've been training for a fight. It feels like forever. I mean, just forever, you know, and these thoughts are just constantly going on in my head. So, like I said, at this point, I'm just anxious. I'm just anxious to get in there. I can't wait to scrap.
February 6th, man, Las Vegas, right down the street from where you're at. You're gonna get your chance. Thank you, Cody, for the time, man, and enjoy the fight. I'm pretty sure you're gonna really enjoy it. You're gonna love it because I feel it right now from you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to finally get back in there.
Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.